Hello my fellow coders, welcome back to Think and Code. For this video, we are going to read files, and by the time we are done, you can read files like txt, csv, and .log files with a Python code. So basically, reading files means getting data from a file stored on a computer. For example, let's make a new file here, just a file, say readme.txt, and here we are going to write, hey, this is thing in code. So we are going to read this file today. So let's save that, and then first, let's see how to open this file. To read anything, you need to open it first. So opening a file has been made really easy in Python with a function called file equals to open, and we'll write a file name. For in our case, it is readme.txt, and then we are going to write an argument r. So r is for reading. So that is what we're going to do, and that means we have save the data to our file. Now let's read the file. There are three ways to read any files. Let me show you. So method one is read an entire file. In this case, it's easy for us because we have just one line, but usually if we have a whole bunch of line, this is slower. And then we have method 2, that is read line by line, right? And then finally we have method 3, that is read all lines into a list, so we can get an output in a list. So let's get started with method 1. So what we can do here is method 1, and let's start. So we have already saved the file. Inside the file, we have opened the readme.txt file inside the file variable. Now we just need to read it. What we need to do is content equals to file.read, and now if we do read, it will read the whole file, entire file, and we can print content. And if we run this, as you can see, we read the entire file. So next is method 2. Now before I go to method 2, what if we have like a bunch of this? So we have a bunch of lines, and if we read out this all, not in this context, but if we have, as you can see, it's kind of slow, but yeah, this is just a small amount of files, and everyone knows we don't have just 25 lines of files. We have like thousands and thousands lines of a line. So this is a really ineffective way to read any file. If we move on to method 2, that is reading one line at a time. So let's get started. Content or line equals to file.readlines and line, and let's remove the other one so we can see it clearly. So if we print it, we only got one line, but we have a bunch of lines here, so that means it will only read a single line. What if we want to read more lines? What you can do is for line in file print line. Now this way you can print all of the lines here. Now we can even do this. What we can do is limit this, or we can modify it however we want. We can do print dash into length line. So as you can see, we can modify it this way. See, as you can see, we added this after each line. So that is going to help us in the future if we want to edit the output the way we want. So using this method 2 is the best approach. And now we have method 3. That is read all lines into a list. What we can do is lines dot equals to file dot read lines. Now this is a different one, and if we print it, as you will see, we'll get a list. As you can see, we got a list of each one, and each line has this to change the line, because we have entered, and enter or second change line means basically this. So that is why we have that. Now we need to remember that after we open a file, we always need to close it. So to close it, what we can do is file.close. Now this is the standard way or the traditional way to do it. But to make it easier, because we programmers are lazy, what we did was create with open. Our name is something different here, readme.txt, and then content read lines, or just to read, close this and print the content. So as you can see, it's like a lot easier. Now we don't have to close, because with will open and close the line itself. So this is the modern way to do it, and this is the way we recommend you to do it, or I recommend you to do it, because doing this file equals to open readme file and then file.close This is a lengthy process. You have to write extra things. That is why you can use with. The with will open and close the file itself. A common error you can get is if we do something like file.txt and run, you'll get an error, no such file or text directory, file not found error. So for that one, just check if there is the file or not. So if you have the file, right, just rename it to this, to your file, and you should get the result you wanted. So that is all in reading files. We're going to write and append on files in the next video. So for that, do access the playlist and subscribe to the channel. It would be helpful. And if you want some notes, it's in the link in the description. So go check it out. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Happy coding. Keep coding.